welcome back to On the Volley. I'm here outside the Shamrock Irish pub, just round the corner from the Coliseum. I've just come out now because today there was a derby, Lazio versus Roma, okay, and Roma won that 1-0. So it was going to be a tight game, always going to be a tight game. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about that man, Ange Postecoglou. Now, you know, it's early days for him. It's early days for him. And already I'm hearing negative comments from pundits, okay, from the people that are phoning in to TalkSport. It's there. That's what I watch when it comes to football in general, yeah? And a lot of people are saying that they chose the wrong man. They could have chose Jose Mourinho. They could have chose Brendan Rodgers, okay, and they went for Ange. And there's a lot of people that are a little bit surprised by that. But the most surprising thing for them is that they got rid of Nuno. But that said, the pundits basically all admitted that maybe this is their thoughts, their opinion. It's not a cert, but they're saying that maybe Nuno did his outburst on purpose because maybe he was looking for a way to get out. Excuse me, I've said this before. I don't think Nuno's problem was with Marinakis. I think it was with Edu. But we'll never know, will we? We'll never know. We can only speculate on that. Anyway, getting back to Ange, you know, after that, dire result, okay? I didn't think the performance was too bad against Swansea. They go 2-0 up in the first half. And what the fuck happened? How can you lose 3-2? Okay, it's only the Carabao Cup. But it's still a cup. It's still a cup. Now, you know, no one can predict and say, oh, you know, if they'd beaten Swansea, they would have gone on to win the Carabao Cup. Come on, please, okay? I heard some people saying that, you know, they had a possibility. Well, most teams have a possibility. It just depends on who puts their strongest team out. You know, and Ange did make 4 changes in the substitutions in the second half, and I think that impacted the rhythm which they had, and maybe just led to them losing 3-2. It wasn't a great result for him, but I think that the game against Burnley, 1-0 up, they probably should have won that game as well. They probably should have won that game, but Burnley, okay, they scored 1-1, and that's how it ended up. So at least he didn't lose. Okay, so he's got his first point. All he can do now is look forward. They've got a massive game in midweek. It is massive. So going into that game with a draw rather than a loss, okay, and Ange and the players seeing some improvement, albeit slow, they are seeing improvement, should really, hold on, bloody hell, I'm in the middle of centre of Rome, and you're always going to hear this, yeah? Mind you, I haven't for a while. Anyway, so I think, as I was saying, that should give them some confidence going into their Europa League game. I just hope for Ange's sake that they come out with a result from there, yeah? Because for some reason or another, I repeat, listening to some of the fans, listening to the pundits, I've heard people say that Ange will be gone by Christmas. Bro, it's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. If I remember rightly, they said that when he was at Celtic. If I remember rightly, they said that when he was at Tottenham. And now they're saying it here, again, at Nottingham Forest. How many times have I heard fans and pundits saying that he'll be gone by Christmas? I don't know, it just seems to me that they seem to have some kind of agenda against Ange. Give the guy a chance. Look, I can't believe the so-called experts didn't take into account the injuries that they had last season and are still going on about the fact, oh, you know, why did Nottingham Forest take a manager who managed Tottenham and left them 17th in the league. Please, come on, okay? Let's use a bit of common sense. And like I've said in the past, okay, I'd like to see any manager in that position and see where they would have ended up, okay? I wouldn't want to I don't want to see Thomas Frank in that position, to be totally honest. I like Thomas Frank. I think he's a lovely guy. And I think he's doing a decent job at the moment, yeah? But what if he did have the amount of injuries that Ange had? Does anyone honestly believe that they could have done much better? You know, last season, I think the Spurs fans would have been happy with finishing 10th and not winning a cup. You know, going by what the fans were saying. But when he did win the cup, when he did win it, finally, a European trophy after 30 years, boom, the attitude towards Ange changed. They finally realised, yeah, there were still some people complaining about the fact that they finished 17th, but what the fuck does that matter? That's what I say. You finish 17th, you finish 10th without a trophy, or 17th with a trophy. Give me 17th with a trophy any day. Anyway, look, I don't really have a lot more to say. There's not a lot to say at the moment. You can't judge Ange. It's still early days. He needs to be given some time. And the Nottingham Forest fans just have to keep the faith. That's all I've got to say. Me, Shah, I'm out.